Hi, everybody. Um, I think I will show you how augmented reality can be used and watch from a very different perspective than you used to see the last 2 days. Just a short introduction from my side. I'm Felix. I'm product owner in the Otto Group. And there I'm responsible for some internal digital products. I will tell you more about this later. I would like to take you on a journey why we at the Otto Group use AR, for whom we use it and how we use it, and at the end especially why we use it, and are convinced that it's a technology that we should integrate in our daily office routine. So as you said, you want to put AR outside into the field, and we would like to integrate it into the office. So it's both ways, more or less. And to come to this, I have to tell you a story about digitization and the VUCA world. Of course, this had a huge impact on the Otto Group. You might know that the Otto Group, it's not otto.de as you know it from e-commerce, but the Otto Group more or less is a company group with more than 50,000 employees, yearly sales of about 13 to 14 billion euro. And you might know many, many brands from your daily shopping routine, for example, e-commerce routine, but you won't connect it to Otto. For example, About You, Orly Mango, Bauer, Bonprix, Hermes, Witt. So more or less all the German e-commerce brands belong to the Otto Group. Besides, we own Hermes, and we own EOS, what is a big financial services supplier. So we cover end-to-end the whole customer journey for e-commerce, more or less. And the only competitor we really face on the European and American market is Amazon, more or less. And in 2014, we had the first year of the more than 70 years company history that we had a loss in our budget, and the first reaction was, well, what do we have to do in order to face the competition? The resume was, it's not about the processes or about our organizational structure, it's more or less about the culture we have within the Otto Group. And so the equation is more or less digitization and VUCA. For us, the resume is, it's about cultural transformation. And the culture transformation plus the Otto Group is the so-called Kulturwandel 4.0. So the Otto Group established a broad process across all the 120 companies within the group to change their culture, because we believe that culture is, so to say, the key to survive in the digitalized world. So Kulturwandel, that's the department where I'm sitting in. It's a function directly reporting to the CEO of the Otto Group, and we facilitate more or less this culture change transformation process across the whole group. And I would like you to welcome Tom. Tom is our Kulturwandel hero, more or less, because when we started the Kulturwandel process in the Otto Group in 2016-17, we established some kind of avatar and a narrative how to tell the more than 50,000 colleagues that we need culture change and what means culture change for every one of them. So this is more or less our figure, our narrative to tell the culture change story across our group. And at one point, we put Tom VR glasses on. Of course, we also a smartphone he got already, so we just needed VR glasses. More or less every Otto employee is offered to order for free Google Cardboard from us. and then they are more or less equipped to use VR and AR. And why do we mixed reality? Of course, we have in the culture change process, we have a broad infrastructure in Microsoft 365 with a Gemma group, with Teams, with blogs, with all the possibilities you can have for cooperation and transparency and communication. But we wanted to do something else. For us, of course, it's about innovation. So we don't want to use just the ordinary Office infrastructure in Microsoft 365, but we wanted to use something innovative. For us, this mixed reality approach for all the employees is more or less about the experience. So we wanted to give all the employees internally the experience or the possibility to experience AR and VR, not only by hearing about it or seeing it in television, but really to feel it, to make their experience with this new technology, and to learn about this technology as well. And of course, this approach is based on disruption. So we wanted to use something completely new internally. This is maybe very important. I'm not talking about AR and VR that we offer to our customers. It's only about the corporate usage of AR, VR for internal purposes. And people should have fun in working or in being confronted with this new technology. And we do it because we just can. So more or less this culture change department where I'm located in is more or less a kind of research and development area where we can use not only new technologies and offer new products to our customers. In this case, the customers are the employees, but also to just to try new formats and channels for corporate communications. What did we do? We invented a new product, and this product is called Ready KW 4.0. Some of you, I'm pretty sure, might know the movie Ready Player One. So this was more or less the avatar, the role model for it. But this is not just an app, or it's much more than an app. So we launched this app in 2018, in spring 18. And I would like to show you how we used it, and still use it, and what were the difficulties we were facing or we are facing right now. So first of all, we launched this at our annual management conference, where all the 300 members of the management board and the family Otto and our group management board meets on a yearly basis. And just as an example, every participant of this conference got this door hanger in the hotel where they were located, got the Google cardboard on their beds, and then they could try this new app. We did this with two reasons. So the one reason was just to do something fancy around this culture transformation project that is running in the group, but also to get the management attention. So this was our starting point to really get the support from the decision makers in our group. The second thing, what we then did was to launch, it's a kind of process documentation. So we were facing the issue that we had for our internal purpose to document our culture transformation process, and we didn't want to do it in some ARIS process map or whatever. So we produced this brochure, a very typical paper printed brochure, but we added AR. So the first thing, this management attention thing, was virtual reality. So we built some virtual reality modules about digitization, about e-commerce in the future that they were able to watch. And here we had a very ordinary paper brochure, and people could use AR and they see, for example, statistics, or are routed to other digital content, just as an example. Another case was our adventure. This took place last year in summer for all the 50,000 employees. So we offered them a kind of point and click, jump and run escape game in this AR app. So it took 7 weeks, and every week they had to solve new riddles. And at the end, of course, they could win a prize. The next case is, we call it digital magic for corporate print. So of course we have many standard brochures and paper things in the group made by our corporate communications department. And to be honest, no one reads these brochures about strategic figures, our values, our commitment, our purpose. You all know this from your employers. And we took an existing brochure and we made all the graphics and all the signs within this brochure to AR markers and put digital content on it. For example, there's a picture of the management board that is 2 years old. Of course, we have a new management board so far with some changes, and we didn't want to exchange or to reprint all the 50,000 brochures. So nowadays you can just swipe with the smartphone over this brochure and see the current picture of the current management board, just to give you a very tiny example. And that is more or less the our core change, or a very fundamental part of our activities with augmented reality is that all employees are invited to produce AR by themselves. So for example, we built this app together with a very small design agency located in Hamburg with some freelance development team, and they more or less established a kind of self-service AR tool. That means we can produce the AR markers by ourselves, and we can produce the AR content within a contentful content management system. So that means that whenever I have an existing brochure or I have signs in the building or something, I can just put a marker on it and produce digital content or AR content. And you see, we switched more or less from, at the beginning, virtual reality to augmented reality. So it's not really anymore a mixed reality digital product that we offer, it's just AR, because we experienced that this is or has a bigger impact or a chance to survive within our corporate environment. So there are much more cases where we can use augmented reality than virtual reality. And this is an example where a big department in the Otto Group, the supply chain management, where all the logistics is steered, they had these very typical vision workshops with all the 300 employees, and they wanted to document their results, their vision for their department. What did they do? They didn't produce any other new PowerPoint that no one will read and that will go away. But they had the idea to make a very lean brochure, and then using AR to make this lively, more or less. And now I'm coming to more or less to the conclusion, or to the core question, that the things that I told you or that I showed you. The question, is it about tech? Nope, it's not about tech. So I'm not here as a augmented reality tech expert or specialist, but more or less we would like to use it, and not to use it for very special cases or occasions, but we would like, as I told at the beginning, we would like to use it for very many daily situations in the office. First of all, we use augmented reality as a participative tool or possibility. As I told you, everyone who is interested can so to say establish a case. We call it case, as this brochure of the supply chain management department, and then we help them to build the markers, to build some or to use some print or physical elements to use AR, and we offer 6 different, we call it AR features. So it's video, it's pictures, it's 3 different text formats that you can use, and these different AR features can be filled or maintained via this content management self-service tool. This is also kind of empowerment for the employees, so that they are not only consumers of augmented reality, but every employee more or less can, supported by us, build their own AR cases. And this is also the reason why we produced more reach within the organization. To be very honest, at the beginning when we introduced this AR app and possibility, the download numbers were very, very low, because employees could not understand why we are doing this, why should they use it, what's the difference when I have a brochure, why should I additionally use my smartphone and experience new dimensions. But when we turned this into a very when we established the connect to the departments, and that they could do it by themselves without big operational expenses, for example, for external providers or agencies, we got them somehow. And of course, it's also a question of reputation, so that we as the Otto Group are more or less willing and forced to establish new formats of corporate communications. So it's not the standard annual report, the standard brochure, or the intranet article. It's something new that in big organizations, it's not really used for corporate communications, and we just wanted to try in this digitalized environment that we are in. So because we want to try it. This is also the reason we don't have to do it for economic reasons, to be very honest. I, as a product owner, got a very, very comfortable amount of money to try something new. And the only purpose or target was just try something, try augmented reality. We would like to see how it works across the company. And you don't have to sell a product, for example. So that's a very comfortable situation for us. And that's also the reason why we can do all these very experimental stuff that is not really meant for a certain purpose. And the cases that I showed you are just the beginning. So we are now in the stage that initially this Kulturwandel department, we were the ones who produced these cases and possibilities. And now, after we made several call-outs across the organization, many departments subscribe for creating their own cases, so that we more or less are only the facilitators of this product and not really have to produce content or cases by ourselves. And at the very end, we turned it now into another campaign, and this is called AR für alle, for everyone across the Otto Group. So this is more or less our approach to enable every single employee to use it and to produce augmented reality. And that was a very short journey why and how we use HR across the Otto Group. Of course, we use it also for our customers. So we have the brand My Home, where you can use this typical function to put the sofa out of the catalog into your living room and see how it fits and how it looks. And we do it also with fashion. For example, Bon Prix offers this, that you can try on the clothes via augmented reality. But our approach is a totally different one. more or less to, you could call it also, it's kind of, e-learning experience that the people do, and we don't offer just an ordinary e-learning about augmented reality, but we use it and everyone can produce it by themselves. So this is AR für alle at the Otto Group, and I'm done with my presentation. Thank you.